one of the things I was looking for instance, is what distinguishes underground hip-hop from any other kind of hip-hop. What, you know, they keep the garage door closed and don't let anybody see them. Is there a particular sound? Are there themes? Is there something about the nature of the musicians and artists there? Are they doing something that... Are they underground because nobody gives a damn about them? I mean, I'm not sure what it is that distinguishes them. And so that's something that I thought got left out of the presentation. It seemed like you kind of started on this whole introductory section that was giving sort of a history of hip-hop music, and you know, we got the Rapper's Delight, and then we jumped from 1981 to 1991, and we got this other group that's being mentioned, and then it's all about the underground groups. And the problem is when you get to listing the underground stuff, all it is, it's just a list. And a list isn't very interesting. I don't know if anybody's going to remember any of those names that you gave us, why the names are important, who's the key person in any of those groups. You know, a lot of the names could be interchangeable. What's the value in sharing that with us? If there are 2 or 3 people who, for instance, are key in all of the groups that made the difference, that they are the creative force, or they or the producers that got other people involved in the process, then maybe the names would matter. Otherwise, you can just give us the name of the group. We don't need to know. And it's made up of, and you list 3 or 5 names. And okay, what? That's like telling you what shoe size I wear. What good is that information? Nobody cares about that kind of stuff. If you had a story about those people, for instance, and talked about how you mentioned the one guy whose music, you know, this was the last album he made before he died. I'll go, okay, well, what happened there? You know, why is that important? Is it better to die, and that's what gives you this underground credibility, or was that just a coincidence? You know, he made a record and then he died. You know, there's got to be something that pulls it together. And you've got an interesting subject here that I think people want to know something about, but you're only kind of giving us, you know, a general view of it, and it's not adding anything to our knowledge. It's just like kind of opening the window and say, look at that, look at that, look at that, and not giving us something to grasp onto and understand. On the slides, I appreciated the idea that you're trying to stylistically match your clothing for the day with the overheads. I think that's a good idea. I just think that you needed to pick something that had a little bit more contrast to it, because it's a little hard to see. Maybe it would have been if we turned out the lights. The lighter colored purple I could see against the dark, but there were several places where there's a darker purple. I can't make out what's going on there. And mostly that was just a subcategory thing, so it wasn't that big a deal, but you want to be careful about that kind of stuff. I think you were disadvantaged a little bit because you didn't get the sound clips that you were looking for. That might have helped clarify some of the things that you were talking about. That'll be one of those things that you'll have to, like we talked about, you always got to figure out everything's working ahead of time. We had that problem. I was trying to help somebody the other day figure out how to do that, and I don't know if we're going to resolve that issue or not. So, at the end, I thought the summary gave it a little bit more structure, and that helps a bit. All right, thank you.